Back to Chickamauga, my friends. We are trying to hold our locations against the Confederates. And it's tough, guys. It's not easy, but we're doing our absolute best here. Obviously, the Confederates over here in the Northeast, if you haven't seen the rest of the Battle of Chickamauga, please go check it out. We need your views, we need your support, and we need you to see how we got trapped here amongst a bunch of Confederates. For those of you that know the history of the Battle of Chickamauga, you'll know what's happening here and why it's happening, but it doesn't make things any easier. We thought we were going to be able to catch the Confederates off guard here, and they ended up surrounding us on this northeastern area, and we absolutely, guys, want to try and win this area back. But right now, the enemy is putting up a glorious fight. I'm trying to get some good shots with Dervier, Robinson, and a few other guys from the woods. We're holding out in the forest, trying to go ahead and keep the enemy at bay. And we're trying to hold this farm right here. Doing our absolute best, of course, but things don't always work out the way you want them to, obviously. Also, by the way, I want you guys to let me know if you would like to see a campaign soon. I was really wanting to do a Union campaign. We did one when the game first came out. After that, we did a Confederate campaign that was very successful. I really enjoyed everybody, being a part of it. And if you haven't seen the Confederate campaign, please go into my playlist of Ultimate General Civil War and check it out from the beginning to the end. It's a great campaign, really fun to watch. We might do a Union one. If you want to see a Union campaign, let me know in the comments down below, and I will get started on it just as soon as I have time. Obviously, I've got work to do, and work comes first, but it's definitely something that I have wanted to work on for quite a while. So Baldwin here, I'm going to send him into melee with Davidson. Davidson is just a skirmisher brigade, and I'm hoping that our boys can stop him from advancing on this location. Come on. We're trying to hold this area. Let's do it. Buell. The rest of these areas that we're trying to hold, which are quite important, we've managed to do so with, but Thomas looks like he's going to be trapped. I'm going to go ahead and charge with McCook. There's been a lot of woods combat here, and I'm hoping that McCook can go ahead and do some damage, especially since he's out of ammo. In fact, McCook charged them, for goodness sake. Here we go. A lot of Confederates coming over here. Tremendous amount from, I think it's Jubilee Early's brigade. You Confederates and you Civil War buffs can let me know who's attacking us, but right now we are being attacked by a major rebel force. For those of you that don't know, the Battle of Chickamauga was a Confederate victory after, it's hood by the way, Confederate victory after a bunch of defeats, and it definitely gave the Confederates a whole lot of strength. So we're trying to turn history around and make sure that the Confederates don't get a victory. I'm hoping that us being in the woods here is going to help big time. I'd love to get General Hood. I'm going to go ahead and detach some skirmishers here, Buell skirmishers, and we're going to try to fire at General Hood. Basically assassinate him before the battle even begins. Well, before the battle even ends. I mean, the battle's begun 2 episodes ago. You guys should check it out. But here we go. So we're going to fire with Buell skirmishers. And somebody mentioned that the skirmishers get different rifles. As far as I can tell, that's not always the case. As you can see, our skirmishers here, if you detach them, they do not get different rifles. If they are, however, their own brigade, they do get different rifles. But the benefit of skirmishers is obviously the fact that they can run faster, they're better shots than the rest of the brigade. They're sort of the snipers of the infantry brigade, the men selected to basically, after a gunfight, go and chase the enemy running away. In this particular game, however, they're used to sort of probe the enemy, get some shots off before the rest of your main force arrives, and try and weaken them before they get right up on top of your men like they're doing here. And they are getting a good amount of skirmishers forward. They're even going to charge us. The amount of close combat in this particular mission has been unbelievable. I will say that. Willich is going to try to fire on the skirmishers as well. There we go. We routed some Confederates, and that is the first time in this battle that we've actually managed to rout an entire Confederate force. But let's see how Thomas is doing. I'm not sure General Thomas is going to survive this battle. He's either going to get killed or get captured, because we are being surrounded here. Bring the supplies back to the center. And I want to bring our skirmishers, we've got a few over here, to start firing on the rebel cavalry. But they seem to outmaneuver us every time, and that's no fun. We've got some more skirmishers up here. We're going to grab them, move southwards, and try to close in on the rebels. But they are definitely closing in on General Thomas, and the closer they get, the deadlier this battle gets. Let's get back over here. The Confederates have got to take this position if they want to get a victory. We are trying to stop them, like I said, just with a tremendous amount of firepower and mostly with cover. Hazen has taken a severe beating. As you can see, 822 deaths in Hazen's battalion. And the rebels are pushing, and they're pushing strong here with Hood. If they can break through here and take these 2 victory points, the battle is going to be a defeat for sure. And they have got a lot of very, very strong men. So we've got to keep that fight up. We've got to keep shooting. We've got to keep trying to get a victory if we can. And hopefully this comes out on our end as a victory. Let's get Buell skirmishers. I'm going to try to fire at the artillery. So we're getting our skirmishers behind the enemy. We could go for that flanking shot, but I think I want to go for the artillery shot. So they could definitely unleash some just absolute hellfire on us. Reload, boys. Don't retreat. We've got bees right now, of course, spotting us. I'm going to take Buell out of the woods here, out of cover, just to get that shot. A lot of our other guys are back here, basically staying in their position just in case the Confederates decide to keep moving forward. There we go. Deese is moving out of here. He's going to get one more volley off on Buell's skirmishers, and it could be a finishing volley. It could be a fatal blow, as we say. Alright, Gross is out of ammo. I'm charging. Maybe not, maybe not. Gotta get some damn supply wagons over here. We don't have any supply wagons left. Let's go back to Thomas's position. Thomas is being completely surrounded right now, but he's staying in the woods there. There's just nowhere for him to run to. It's unfortunate to have a general this strong, cornered by the enemy, but we're not in a position to really complain. We must continue the fight. Long, get your ass out here. That Confederate's trying to run away. Let them run away, Long. Don't hurt him. They're going to run away. Put their rifles down. I accept that. Defend General Thomas. Alright, let's see how Ashby's doing. So over here, it's a fight of skirmishers. Like I said, this whole battle has been one big guerrilla warfare fight. Just a ton of men dying on each side. A ton of men falling. Okay, here we go. Croxton skirmishers. We got, oh my goodness, we got rebel cavalry approaching, guys. This may be here to finish off the skirmishers and cut Thomas off for good. And as you can see, the enemy is getting closer and closer, and we are running out of things to defend Thomas with. We're trying to hold this woods location, but the enemy may just break through. I'm going to bring Robinson over here, despite possibly losing this area, and Long has actually managed to get into some close combat here with Wright and Stovall. And I do believe he can crush them, so we're going to keep Long in the attack. We just keep hitting Wright and Stovall, try to wipe him out. He has taken a lot of losses just holding this position. Let's go ahead back to the west. Hood is here. Move forward, boys. I want that general dead. If he's going to sit out there like a sore thumb, we're going to take advantage. Nice! Hood is off the battlefield, guys. We don't know if it's a kill or not, but I'll tell you one thing. The Confederates here to the west, they are in a position where they really need to beat us and take these locations, and that's going to make our job a lot easier. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to beat us right now. At least not in the west. There are a lot of locations in the west that they need to take over, but as you can see, they are attacking us from all sorts of locations. We're going to get Robinson to fire back at Helm. My goodness. There we go. Croxton is getting into a fight for sure. Firing Robinson. I think Thomas's days are numbered. I'm going to move him over here behind the men. But at least we're still holding the farm. Let's bring Long in here. And McCook skirmishers into the woods as well. Looks like at least the enemy is also running out of ammunition. Doesn't make me feel that much better, though, as our skirmishers have been shot to shit by the enemy cavalry and skirmishers as well. and they've really worked us down to a bloody pulp. Come on, Robinson. Woods are absolutely filled with smoke. Turchin is having to deal with Wood. Now here we go. Long has just arrived. I'm going to have Long charge. I'm not so sure he's going to be effective against the enemy infantry. He might not even follow through with the charge. He's just going to keep firing those carbines and carbines. I always say carbines. In this case, I said carbines. But we're going to see if those carbines are going to actually work to finish this goal of fighting Wood off. Adams is approaching, and at least we're still holding the farm. That's the important thing. I want to try to hit Adams before he gets to the wood line or the tree line. Come on, boys. Let's take a look at the west here. Alright, we're moving in on a Hills Brigade. I don't care if we're out of cover. In fact, we're going to take Hazen. We're going to charge. We're going to charge with Gross. And we're going to charge with Willage. We're already firing some canister shot at the enemy. Gross, they're not supposed to be doing it. They're supposed to be charging, which I know your condition is awful. So we're going to forgive that for now. Here we go, some bayonet combat with the Confederates. And over there in the east, things ain't looking so good for our boys. Let's move these skirmishers towards the general, see if we can save his life. As you can see, those rebels are doing everything they can to take it. Field skirmishers keep firing at Culpeper. There we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that is vicious combat. Really wish we could get Gross in there, but it looks like he's just firing at his own men at the same time. Hey, you got to do what you got to do to get a victory sometimes, and in this case, it means firing at your own men. Unfortunately, the Battle of Chickamauga was not a nice battle. I mean, few battles are. Few battles end without many casualties, and in this case, we're going to have a whole bunch of casualties before the day's end. Come on, boys. I'm going to force Gross into a charge. There we go. Get them bayonets out. And he's still not going for it. He's not accepting that charge. I don't know if it's Hill forcing him not to move forward. I mean, it's a scary general. He has a lot of respect amongst his men. But at least the southern and westernmost positions we are holding. Now, Jay's Mill, we may lose very soon, especially since Starkweather now is being flanked from multiple angles here by Stovall and a few others. We're hoping that the skirmishers can win the day here. The enemy skirmishers started this fight, killing a bunch of our men in the woods with some excellent guerrilla tactics. Let's see if we can't change that. Macklemore is moving forward, enemy skirmisher brigade, and they have many more men than we do. Hold the line, boys. So far, Thomas is still alive. Unbelievable, but it is the case. We got to thank these trees just for their natural cover. We are getting rear flanked by Davidson and a bunch of other enemy cavalry. Looks like we just lost some supplies to the enemy, and it sure as hell ain't a pretty battle, I'll tell you that much. At least we're holding the west. I don't see the enemy taking this area, and it looks like that freaking close combat is still going on. We're just going to force Gross into some close combat here, or at least get him up close and personal with the enemy. And it looks like Polk's finally falling back. Seeing Polk fall back makes me real happy. Come on, boys. Help your men. Alright, we'll fire a Dersher. There we go. The Confederates secured Jay's Mill. I was worried about that. We took it back, but they took it right back from us. So I am going to bring these skirmishers down. Hopefully we can get it back before the end of the day. I'm not sure what happens if we don't. We do hold most of the locations, though, and that is definitely a pretty sight. But I'm not sure if that means a victory. It may just mean we get lucky for the time being here. All right, there we go, guys. We're going to finish and proceeding to the next day. My goodness, this battle refuses to end, and it holds. So, yesterday our men have fought bravely and held their ground. The thick forests make reconnaissance difficult, but we managed to understand the real intentions of the enemy. Bragg is determined to turn our left flank, encircle us, and prevent our army from defending Chattanooga. It is of utmost importance to defend Lafayette Road, which is the fastest route to the town. Confederates did not attack us in the night, giving us valuable time to build up strong breastworks. So here we go. Veteran brigades of Longstreet's Corps are arriving to the battlefield. It's going to make this a much more challenging position, but we're going to still try to hold, of course, and hopefully we get a decent defense here. We've had the chance to build up our breastworks, so there's not going to be a lot of movement on my side. I'm just going to try to stay put and hold these locations against the rebel attacker. But whether or not we can get a victory, only time will tell, guys. We've pushed this into day 3 of Chickamauga, and that is good. And it looks like Reserve Corps 2 is 2 miles north at McAfee's Church and keeps an eye for rebel movements. It will be able to assist us later, hopefully in a few hours. So that's not a definite, it's a possibility. We've got to hope that that actually occurs. If we manage to hold our position today, we can certainly claim a great victory. The battle now is at its most critical point. The Confederates' right wing, or rebel right wing, is preparing to assault us under command of General Polk. And that's why I told you I was so happy to see Polk run. He's a great general, and seeing him move forward here is definitely devastating. J.B. Hood is moving forward as well, and we've got to hold our line. Let's just get a good hard look at our boys before the great battle. This is going to be tough. I will be honest with you. I'm going to get Croxton over here. I'm going to get Gross over here. Try to take the position behind these barricades and hold the position, of course. Get Scribner. We don't have many men left. I mean, a lot of these very, very strong brigades are now, down to just a few men, or a few, 100 men as opposed to a few thousand. And that's going to make our position a lot tougher here. But we're going to try to make it work. Let's take a look down here. We've got some cavalry as well that can assist us in this battle. Horseshoe Ridge is contested. I'm going to take Mindy north, see if he can't take back Horseshoe Ridge. I don't see any rebels here, but things change very quickly in these kind of fights. What's that? I hear some gunfire. Now, one strange thing is I'm not seeing... There we go, we got some skirmishers probing us. I'm not seeing the usual timer that's set on these battles. So I'm wondering whether or not that timer is going to show up. It looks like, oh my goodness, the rebels are coming right out of the woods at us. Manigault. This guy is charging. That's a rebel yell. And he definitely wants to stop us and take our position from us. I'm hoping we can stop him before he gets here. Come on, boys. Gracie's getting close, too. Come on, Carlin. See if you got any reinforcements here. I'm going to be sending some reinforcements forward. Label and Peg. Gracie is routing. Beautiful. They're definitely probing along the line. And if they get in between our line, like Harrison is getting, that's going to make me worry for sure. Anyway, guys, you know how this works. If you want to see the rest of the battle, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, comment. I am going to talk to my buddy Nick Tomatis, who actually is one of the developers of this game. Lack of a timestamp, which usually pops up in the upper right corner, is concerning me. But I want to keep in mind, if you guys enjoy these kind of fights and you want to see a campaign as the Union, we've already done one as the Confederacy, let me know in the comments down below and I will make it happen. Thank you again for watching, take care, and make sure to make it to day 4 of Chickamauga.